every few months, YouTube does something that gets just everybody up in arms about it, and then there's public outrage everywhere. Ooh, we got a Dex potion. And everyone's complaining about everything, and, you know, they blow everything out of proportion. And it's been a few months since the last one, so it's about time for them to drop the next bomb. And that bomb was in the shape of advertiser-friendly content guidelines. Now, this is something that's actually been in YouTube for a while now. It's not something that's new. It's something that they have had in their community guidelines. Yes, the Guidelands. That's like the Godlands, but with a guide. And their guidelines for a while now. But it's not something that they really acted upon. It's not something that they really enforced, I suppose would be a better way to look at it. So, there we go. And I guess they decided that they're actually gonna start enforcing it, or maybe they have been enforcing it all along. We just never heard about it because the channels that got struck by it never said anything, which is possible. However, recently, for those of you who do not know, a bunch of larger channels and a few smaller ones have been getting all of their or portions of their videos unmonetized. And the reason why is because YouTube has been saying that their content does not follow these quote-unquote advertiser-friendly content guidelines. So, and this is a terms of service type thing that everyone who signs up for a YouTube account or is part of YouTube and doing content creation has to agree to before they can post on that site. Now, the biggest problem is that, and this is the biggest problem whenever YouTube basically does anything, is they just kind of sprung it on everybody. And they didn't say anything prior. Do I want to try? I don't really want to try for that. I feel like we're going to die if we do. They're just the absolute worst at communicating. I think that's one of the reasons why so many people had issues with it, is because they felt like it just kind of got sprung on them without any warning. They stopped being able to monetize videos. They're getting all these really scary emails saying, hey, we're dropping the monetization on your videos. I hope that's okay with you. And it's a scary, scary thing. And the other scary thing is it's not really affecting smaller channels. I mean, it is. Of course, it's affecting smaller channels as well. But the bigger channels are the ones getting hit. And usually, whenever something weird or bullshit happens, it's the smaller channels that kind of take the brunt of it, and the bigger channels are normally fine. But it's actually almost seemingly the opposite this time. And it all kind of started when large YouTuber Philip DeFranco had like something like 12 of his videos unmonetized, seemingly at random. And then, you know, Boogie2988 got hit with it. A few other people did. Large channels. These people have like 10 million subs. I don't even remember exactly. Like, I think Boogie has like 3 million. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but it's enough to where you'd say like, wow, YouTube's gonna really not make a lot of money off of whatever. There's got to be a reason they're doing this, right? They're not just screwing everybody over because they feel like it. Hopefully, I really hope, but you know, maybe I don't know. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about today. Now, keep in mind the community guidelines and the advertiser-friendly guidelines have actually been a part of YouTube for a while now. This is not something that is new, but what is new, and I said kind of earlier, is that they've actually started enforcing it. It seems like, I mean, there's channel like Keemstar and stuff out there that kind of posts bullshitty stuff all the time and never gets flagged by it, you know? And maybe that's the reason why, one of the reasons why they've started actually doing something about it, is because they want to stop stuff like Keemstar and other kind of trolly, bullshitty channels from doing their trolly, bullshitty things. And I can understand that, but they need to communicate that kind of stuff ahead of time. They, you know, and of course, I guess you can say they have kind of communicated it ahead of time. A few months ago, there was a scare with a bunch of channels that seemed like they were going to basically not be able to exist on the platform any longer. And so maybe this is just the next step in their direction, that they're going to get rid of hate speech and stuff on their platform. That could definitely be it. I could definitely see that as being a reason. Let's just get out of here. But the thing is that YouTube didn't say anything, you know? They just kind of spring this kind of stuff. If they said, all right, guys, remember 2 months ago when we said that we were going to start getting rid of all these channels that, you know, we don't like their content? Well, you have a week to shape up. If they said that, you know, I don't think it would have been, oh, a candy gnome. I don't think it would have been as bad, you know? I think it would have been a lot better. All right. I guess it's just us. That's fine. More stuff for us, I suppose, right? But YouTube, they don't do that. They just kind of say, all right, we're just gonna pull the trigger now randomly and piss everybody off. And there's not, okay, looks like more people made it in. You know? And that's not the way to run a community. Because all you end up doing is creating a bunch of controversy and creating a bunch of, you know, bad feelings about everything. And then people get super pissed off and, I missed it. And you know, this happens every few months. But before I get into that, let's actually read through what the advertiser-friendly content guidelines are about. That way you can get a little bit of a context of kind of why a lot of people are up in arms about this. This is a huge thing on YouTube right now. A lot of people super pissed off. A lot of people up in arms about this, putting out videos, tweeting, doing all this drama stuff that everybody loves, right? So let's read this. Content that is considered inappropriate for advertising. Yep. Is there a boss here? Am I missing a boss? No, I'm not. Content that is considered inappropriate for advertising. First one, sexually suggestive content, including partial nudity or sexual behavior. This has been something that, you know, you haven't been able to do nudity and stuff on YouTube for a while. That's not what the goal of YouTube is. It doesn't fit in with what they want. And so that makes sense. I mean, I don't think that any of us can say, oh, what? I was missing all my porn videos on YouTube. No, you're thinking about RedTube. That's a different thing. All right. So that makes sense. All right. Second one is violence, including displays of serious injury and events relating to violent extremism. Now, one of the problems with this one is that it's incredibly vague. And like, what does that entail, you know? Violent extremism. I think everybody has a picture of what that means in their head, but you know, I think it's vague for a reason. But what, you know, where's that line drawn? Can we no longer post videos that are of, I don't know, Battlefield on YouTube because it has, you know, war scenarios and there's people dying and stuff? There we go. Piss everybody off here a little bit. You know, does that fall under? Is anything good here? Not really. Does that fall under violence and, you know, serious injury? What about Deadpool? Can you show a clip of Deadpool for a movie review, knowing that Deadpool is super gory and at times and that kind of stuff? Does that include anything for movie review type stuff? You know, what does that include? I'm mostly concerned about, does that include violent video games? You know, because that's what would affect my channel specifically. That's what I'm concerned about. Can we only play kids games now? Is that all we can do? Is just kind of play kids games now? You know, all right, we're all just, this is now a Barbie nail salon. We're not doing, you know, we're shooting fuzzy animals. I guess that could be kid friendly, but they're also dying. That's violence, extreme violence, right? So does that mean we can't play Realm of the Mad God on YouTube anymore? You know, we might have to shut down our Realm stuff, guys. We might only be able to play Mario. No, you jump on and kill people in Mario. You can't do that on YouTube anymore. I'm being sarcastic, but I think I get my point across there. Next one. Inappropriate language, including harassment, profanity, and vulgar language. Does that mean that we can't cuss on YouTube anymore? Because there are a lot of music videos with a lot of cussing in them, right? Does that mean all these music videos are going to be pulled off of YouTube? Does that mean that, you know, you can't occasionally say fuck or something because, oh no, you know, that might offend somebody. That's vulgar language. We can't have that. You got to think of the children, man. Man, why isn't anybody thinking of the children, right? Can we not curse on YouTube? You know, or can we curse, but we just have to not, you know, you just have to keep it to a minimum. You can't just sit there and stream out profanities like George Carlin, you know, or something. Is that what it is? I don't know. So, but I don't know. So there's that. I can understand the hate speech one, you know, but again, where's that line drawn? You know, and I think a lot of these are intentionally vague. I think they're vague enough to where if they don't like something, they can demonetize it for you, and maybe make you go away. But you know, if it's okay for you, then you know, I don't know. I don't understand. You know, where's this line drawn? I think that's the other big problem with this. And like I said, I think it's just intentionally vague so that they can enforce it whenever they want. You know, a lot of laws are like that. If you read laws and stuff, a lot of them are kind of like that, right? Some of them are highly specific, right? If you're blind and you live by a river and I don't know, whatever. But a lot of them are also really, really vague. So I think we're the only one in here. Let's do this. All right, next one. Promotion of drugs and regulated substances, including selling, use, and abuse of such items. When does this come into effect? Are there videos of people doing drug deals? Because that seems like a really good way of getting busted by the police. In fact, they shouldn't be, you know, saying you can't do that because the police agencies might lose a way that they can catch cocaine deals. If that's something that's actually happening on YouTube, you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think that's something that's actually happening on YouTube. I think they're just keeping their bases covered. In fact, I'm gonna go into my theory on why I am just running into everything. It's because I'm not concentrating on my gameplay. That's what it is. I'm concentrating on the rage, man. The unfiltered rage. I'm trying to be, you know, not too upset with this because it seems like in the past, stuff like this happens and everyone gets all up in arms about it. And then like a week or two later, everything blows over and it's fine. You know, like, oh, this is the end of YouTube. There's a hashtag going on right now called like YouTube party is over. Like, all right, guys, this is the last stop. Everybody get off, go find real jobs now or something. I don't know. But that is a hashtag that is happening on YouTube not on YouTube. Well, maybe on YouTube as well, but on Twitter, certainly. You know, I want to get over to this freaking boat. All right, we found a blue bag. Useful if we can get to it. Okay. There's some of these cunts. I love that word. I don't get to use it much. I use that specifically because we were talking about foul language. That's a word. I wish I was from the UK because I would love to use that word. I hate that people get so up in arms about that one word. Like it's just the worst thing ever. I can understand why. I mean, it's not something I would say around children, and I guess I did just say it around children because there's a lot of people that are of the lesser age that watch my videos. But either way, let's get into the next one. Drug deal stuff. If that's something that's actually happening on YouTube, I would be super surprised. I could see maybe people getting high you know, in Colorado or something. I could see people in Colorado posting videos of them video gaming while they're high. I think, you know, there's probably a market for that. I probably should tap into that, except for I don't do that sort of thing. But either way, next one, promotion of drugs. We just did. Oh, hello. Hello. Okay, this is the last one, and it's perhaps the worst one. Honestly, it's perhaps the worst one, but you'll see why here in a second. Controversial or sensitive subjects and events, including subjects related to war, political conflicts, natural disasters, and tragedies, even if graphic imagery is not shown. Even if okay, so we can't talk about politics. That's too controversial. We can't talk about politics anymore, guys. You know, we just have to bend over and take it in the rear now. That's what you gotta do, you know. You know what this reminds me of? The very beginning of We Happy Few. I just realized that. This reminds me, at the very beginning of that game, if you haven't watched my video, at the very beginning of the game, you work as someone who censors newspaper articles. And you're like, all right, you're going through all these old newspaper articles and you're like, oh, nope, this one's too depressing. We can't have that. And then you censor it, right? And that's your job. And there's a lot of people who are claiming that what YouTube is doing right now is censorship. And I'm going to agree and debunk that in a second. But let's get through this next one here really quick. We can't talk about war. We can't talk about politics. We can't talk about controversial subjects. What fits under that umbrella? Everything is controversial. All the most fun stuff to talk about is the controversial subjects, you know? That's how a lot of YouTubers are making their money right now, you know? And maybe that's what they're trying to stop. I don't know, you know? Oh, these YouTubers with all their controversial subjects, these social justice warriors and these Gamergate peeps and all that kind of stuff. You know, we gotta stop. We can't have that. We gotta stop all that. We gotta think of the children, man. YouTube, at one time, was a platform where people could go on it and they could speak their mind. And everyone had the right to say whatever they wanted to without, you know, worrying about losing their monetization or without worrying about, you know, being censored and their videos taken off. That is originally the point of YouTube, right? And it seems like that's no longer the point of YouTube, right? A lot of people are calling this censorship. I think it is, but it's not actually censorship, right? Actual censorship would be, by definition, they take your video down completely. Like you can't post the stuff, you know, your channel is now forfeit, which I guess the community guidelines, they can do that, but they're not doing that. They're just taking away the monetization. They're taking away your ability to make money off of this. So it's not censorship in the vein of, you know, you can no longer post videos about this or else we're taking down your videos or we're taking down your channel, you know? That's not what's going on. However, they are making it to where, okay, if you post about this, then we're not gonna pay you anymore. And the problem with that is that basically they're making it so, okay, if you don't play nice, then, you know, we're taking away your right to make money and you won't be able to, you know, fund your channel, and eventually you'll either have to stop making content or you just will have to fund it yourself, and, you know, you won't have people paying you for this. You can't afford new programs or games or whatnot to play on your channel, right? Which is a problem. This is the first time I've actually gotten something from him. There we go. We'll drink this, because why not? Ah, we're drunk and invisible. That's cool. So it's not actual censorship, right? But it's about as close as you can get. This is like Orwellian 1984 bullshit going on right now, in my opinion, you know. And it's not the worst thing in the world. I haven't been affected, so I guess my stance on it is a little bit more relaxed than I suppose other people's, that they're losing monetization on everything. And what this is really gonna hurt is the smaller channels, because the larger channels, they have enough of a following to where they're like, all right, we're just not gonna monetize our stuff through YouTube. We're just gonna get sponsors, and we're gonna get t-shirt sales, and we're gonna get there we go. And we're going to fund ourselves in other ways. We're gonna do Patreon and that kind of stuff, which is great. But if you're a smaller channel, you got 100 people watching you, you're not gonna be able to monetize your stuff that way. How many people out of 100 people are gonna buy a t-shirt? You know? How are you? It's ludicrous to think that that's the way that you'd be able to make a living on YouTube. Well, you're not gonna be able to make a living, but you know, fund yourself if you're a smaller channel. I don't know. Now, okay, so we've talked about the effect that this is having. Now, I have a few, I guess, reasons why I think YouTube is doing that, you know? I have a few reasons why I think YouTube is doing this. Okay, you have to remember that YouTube is first and foremost a business, and it's a publicly traded business. You can buy stocks and everything in it. We still have the keys in the upper corner. Do you guys notice that? That shouldn't be happening right now, but it is. And so the whole reason to have a publicly traded business is to make money. That is their sole reason for existence. To make people money, right? And YouTube has always been something that that doesn't make money. It's one of those things that Deadwater, you know what? We're gonna go in because why not? Because why not? We're probably gonna die, but we'll see. This is still here. I don't even know what I'm doing here. So, YouTube for the longest time has not turned a profit. They've either gotten really close to, or you know, fairly close to turning a, but they don't turn a profit. They don't actually make money. I just about died. Holy shit. All right, we're gonna stay back a bit, and hopefully not die. That'd be great. Oh, okay. We are going back. We're going back to reality. Will this thing go away? Why? That's got to be a glitch. Has that ever happened to you guys? Has this ever happened to you? And it shows somebody falling off of a ladder. It's like, have this ladder that now has, I don't know, strap-in shoes. I don't know. That would be stupid on so many levels. I digress. We're talking about YouTube right now. YouTube's main goal is to make money. They say that their main goal is to, you know, help out content creators and all this stuff, but that's bullshit. The main goal for YouTube is to make money. First and foremost, that is its sole purpose, right? And so why would they make a rule or start enforcing a rule that means they're gonna lose out on money? Because what they're doing right now is unmonetizing people's videos. And these are people who make a lot of money for YouTube. You know, these are people who've been on YouTube for like 10 years, right? They're big channels. They're the money makers. So YouTube, they're not gonna want to, you know, throw away all of that money making stuff, right? They're not gonna want to just throw money down the drain. They already don't turn a profit. So why would they be getting rid of monetization on people's stuff, right? It doesn't make sense. And here's my theories on why. First and foremost, either ad agencies are threatening to leave unless videos and stuff are now more monetizational friendly, right? Or, oh, that was almost death. Or YouTube is trying to make it so that they can earn more ad revenue by saying, hey, look, we're gonna do this thing and we're gonna get rid of all these videos that you guys don't want to monetize next to. But in return, we're gonna be charging you more money to monetize stuff. So I'm expecting, because of this, higher ad rates. That's what I'm expecting. We'll see if that's what we get. But that's what I'm expecting. If they're gonna pull this kind of stuff, I kind of hope that, you know, we get paid more because of it. That would make sense, right? So either people were threatening to leave and they said, all right, we'll enact this so that, you know, hopefully you guys don't leave, and then otherwise they would be losing money because of that, right? Or they're saying, all right, we're gonna do this, but you're paying us more for it, right? Which maybe they will. I guess we'll have to see on that. Now, my second theory is YouTube recently, for a long time, has been trying to become more like TV. There's a lot of people cutting the cord, right? There's a lot of people who are getting rid of cable. They're getting rid of basically TV, and that's that's making a void, right? And things like Netflix are trying very hard to fill that void. And they're trying hard to fill that void by making their own shows and trying to become as much like cable TV without actually being cable TV as they can to kind of fill that niche. Because there's a vacuum in that right now that needs to be filled with something. And if you can fill that, there's a lot of money to be made there, right? And that's why, primarily, that's why they decided to start up YouTube Red. YouTube Red is a way to kind of get rid of monetization to some degree, but at the same, oh, we killed that. That's awesome. But at the same time, they're also rolling out featured programming, right? Like PewDiePie had one, and all these other big channels had a MatPat had one. Yeah, you know, all these different. It's like TV, but it's not TV, and that's the point of it. It's like TV, but it's not, right? And that's the point. So maybe what they're trying to do is to align their advertising program closer to something that you would see on television type stuff, right? Or closer to what you would see on you know, Netflix or that kind of stuff. Because I could see advertising agencies and stuff saying, you know, we don't want to pay for content, or we don't want to pay for advertisement that's next to people talking about suicide or rape or something, right? Because the way that the advertisement works is that, you know, you're trying to evoke a feeling when you're evoking advertisement. And if that feeling that you're trying to evoke is next to something like, I don't know, suicide or rape or this kind of stuff, then the feeling that you get for that product is alongside that. And they don't want to advertise next to something like that unless they're advertising something like a new suicide prevention hotline or a rape whistle or something, you know, or something like that. I don't know. So that's the reason behind all of this quote unquote advertiser friendly content, is because advertisers don't like to advertise next to that kind of stuff. But that's not saying that stuff is important. The videos getting taken down right now by Boogie and stuff, those are videos on, like, all right, if you're thinking about, they're like suicide prevention videos and stuff. Like, if you're thinking about this kind of stuff, then here's what you should do. Here's people you can call. Go talk to these people, you know. And if you're super depressed, then, you know, I'm here for you. That kind of stuff. Those are the videos getting taken down. And I think we can all agree that those videos are very important, right? Actually, okay, wait. Back up. They are not getting taken down. I'm sorry, I misspoke. They're not getting taken down. Those are the videos right now that are having the monetization taken from them, right? Which is different. That's an important distinction. They're not getting taken down. They are getting demonetized. So I got a pee bag. Pee bag. Nothing good though. Is there shatters here? I kind of want to try one. Is there shatters? No. So that's my take on it. Honestly, I think that I understand why they're doing it. I think if my guesses are correct, if it's one of those two things, I can understand why they're doing it. At the same time, my God, your PR is absolutely horrible. You need to have, you know, communication. They've basically come out and said, we're not doing interviews on this subject. Yes, this is real. Yes, it's not going away. Suck it up. We're not talking about this anymore. That's basically what they have said. And, you know, I don't feel like that's the right attitude to have towards all these people who are allowing you to run advertisements on stuff to make money. You know, they do a lot of work. Content creators do a lot of work as well. And I feel like a lot of people are feeling kind of pushed down and degraded. I think there's a lot of people who are just starting out who have decided now that all this stuff is coming out that they're not going to do videos anymore, right? I think there's larger channels that have decided that as well. Like, we're just not going to do videos anymore, and now we're losing content. Or, all right, we're just going to unmonetize everything, and we're just going to do Patreon. And what that's doing to YouTube is it's basically saying, all right, you're gonna pay to host our stuff, but we're not gonna let you advertise and make money for it. And that's a huge disadvantage for YouTube because that's terabytes of storage and that's bandwidth and that's all sorts of stuff. So I think we've talked on this long enough. I'm trying to cover both bases here. Personally, if you're asking my personal opinion here, as I'm trying to be objective, I think it's not something that, you know, we can really change. There's really no use crying about it now. You know, I understand why they're doing it, but I think that they could have executed it much better, right? And I think that's why, one of the reasons why so many people are so depressed and up in arms about it right now. It's just the execution and their PR. Those people need job reassignment or something, you know? Everyone does this. Valve does this. The people at No Man's Sky recently got ridiculed to hell for this, for, you know, misleading and not having good PR and, you know, notifying people and allowing all these rumors that their product was something it wasn't to surface and to go through. Yeah, we'll have that, they said during the interview, and then none of it ever went into the game. It was, oh yeah, that was, yeah, yes. All right, that is all I have to say. I've talked about this long enough. I've been, I don't know. I was gonna do its own video on this. I don't think it's warranted. I think it's a huge thing, but I think there's enough people basically saying the same thing, you know. It's just more noise in the YouTube drama sphere. But I don't know, that's my opinion. Let me know what your guys' opinion is down below. I'd love to see, especially if you're a content creator, if this is affecting you in some way. I'd love to see what you think. So that is all I have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next episode.